And we're back. And we're back with the crankshaft sitting right there. So this is what I did. Basically, you can see the rear main seal is still there. Since the block was broken, I took a hammer to the block and I was just breaking off where the dowel pin goes. Because it's broken, I don't need it no more. So I just broke off where it was there. You can see my mess. This stinks. Like when I took the crankshaft, when I took the cradle, the bolts out, it reeked of smell. And I get it, you know, it's oil or whatever, but holy shit, it stunk really, really bad. We got the crank out. I could take this crank to a machine shop and ask them, hey, I need to save the flywheel and I need you to save that shaft. The bolt, I don't care how you get it out. I don't care if it's drilled and tapped. I don't really care. As long as the bolt's out, the crank is trash. I just need those two pieces at the end. They should be able to do it. So with this block here, man, I took out some of the connecting rods. Took out some connecting rods. Here's one, here's two, and then here's three. I couldn't find the third one. And then here's three. They're all good, of course. Obviously, when you blow an engine in idle and it just decides to crack a rod, more than likely all your rods are fine except for that one. And that one, I don't even know where it's at. It's not even in here anymore. All the bearings over there. Obviously, this is the one bearing that took a crap. Right here, this is the bearing that just said see you later. And obviously it wasn't the bearing that gave out, it was the rod. The rod is still in there, the pistons are in there. So let me get the pistons out. I gotta get the head off. I can't get the rods out to the bottom because obviously you gotta get it out to the top. So let me get the head off, try to. I hope I have the tool for it. I know it's a 12 millimeter, but we'll see. And I know that I used ARP head studs on this one, so I should have it theoretically. All right. ARP studs are out, all the bolts. I'm missing one. I took all 10, but there's a bolt somewhere. I don't know if it fell through an oil galley or what, but all 10 are out. So we're gonna take the head off, and that's gonna be a challenge. I'm gonna set you guys right here, and you're gonna see me bang away. There we are, the head's off. Definitely, this is the first time, this engine, I did change the head gasket on this once. And it was the first time I ever did it, and it looks pretty good. It honestly looks pretty solid. Let's get these head studs out of here, and we'll move on to the next step. We'll pop the pistons out from the bottom, of course. Some of these you might have to get an Allen key, get that right size Allen key, because you get the wrong one, you're in a world of trouble. So let me get an Allen key for these, and I'll get right back with you. So, found one that fits in there pretty good. How long are these damn studs? Holy crap. All right, let's flip this block over and get these pistons out. Okay, you're broken and missing pieces and you're still heavy as shit. No, roll over. All right, look at that. Sheared it right off. And this one was on its way too. I don't know if you guys can tell from the angle, the curvature, back is out right there. So that is unfortunate. I'll probably end up selling it before I even get around to rebuilding it, but I would like to rebuild it for sure, but I probably won't, just to be straight honest with you guys. I want to build it for high horsepower and then get the block rebuilt, but you see the mess I make? I don't deserve to get a rebuilt engine. About 90% of this stuff is going to the dumpster. For the exception, of course, you know, your alternator, your intercooler, the transmission's not going anywhere. What motor mount is that? The transmission mount, clutch is stained, the block is trash, all the little accessories of the internals are going to go to trash, obviously. I'm not going to keep the gurney? I'm not going to keep the cradle. Obviously, the oil pan is trash. I'm gonna keep the head, but everything else is pretty much going to the dumpster. So I want to rebuild the engine properly, but my engine at this moment, the internals will never do this as long as I keep maintenance. The reason why I say that's because the turbo will never reach the capacity of the internals. The engine is always, or the turbo will tap out right around 425, 450. The block can take about 450, 475. So what I mean by tap out is like it's gonna struggle, it's gonna kill itself trying to get to 450. Right now, I think it's at 390 to be honest with you. This is butt dyno numbers. So right now, it is what it is. I will rebuild the engine internally one day. Maybe if this YouTube start paying me, maybe I'll invest all of that money back into the car. And if that's the case, we better be at 3,000 because I have not forgot you guys are getting another car giveaway at 3,000 subscribers. It's hot, but we're here. As you see, the transmission is mounted. The intake manifold is mounted. This technically can go back in the car now, but there's a couple things I want to do before I send it off in there. And the first thing I want to do is fix that transmission because it looks disgusting. Nothing wrong with it. It's just dirty. Sprayed it with some good old degreaser. Take our brush and rub away. Is this necessary? Absolutely not. Do I want to do it? Absolutely not. But it's never going to look pretty if I don't. So with that being said, it's absolutely necessary. Oh, the smell. So the starter that I have on here is actually a really, it's not the same starter, but I have that one and also have this starter that's in the toolbox. But this starter seems to work fine. I looked up the part number and this goes to our GST and GSX. Since this is a true 96 Eclipse transmission GSX, that starter goes to a GSX. Since the block is a true 97 Eclipse GSX engine, that starter works with this setup here. Because before, if y'all remember, my intake manifold, my whole engine, except for the transmission, the whole engine was from Mitsubishi's RVR, and that is a minivan essentially. So there's some parts on here that I had to take off that I had to swap over, but I already did all that swapping and stuff. So now we're good to go here. Everything in this thing is from an Eclipse now, except for the manifold that's still an Evo 3. Scrub it down and rinse it off. That looks better. But there you go, guys. I know I'm dragging this build, not really a build, it's just kind of like reinstall longer than it needs to, but trust me, there's a reason why I'm taking my sweet time with it, and it's nothing to do with the engine, but it's everything to do with the shell of the car. So if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. But we will be doing something special with this car very soon. So I'm not in a rush to do it, but I'm in a rush to do it, which is why I kind of half-assed the wire harness there. So the car itself is going to be restored over again. We are going a different color orange. We're doing orange, but it's going to be a different color orange. And believe me when I say it's going to be worth the wait. It's going to be worth the process. We just have to take our time and not rush through it because we're not painting it in this garage. We're going to paint it somewhere else. But trust me, the time is coming. As for this, I'm going to let this dry overnight, come back to it in the morning, and I will install the engine into the engine bay. We did get the gauge as well for the oil pressure, so we don't have to worry about that one. I need to install that one. I need to install this, which is the intercooler. No, what is this? Coolant piping that goes from the driver's side to the passenger side. I had an O-ring for this side, but it was just way too big, and I don't know where it went, but it was just too big, and every time I tried to push it in, all it ended up doing was just kind of like rolling itself over. It wasn't seated in correctly. So I need to get a new O-ring for that one. I need to install the housing over there, and we are going to be rocking and rolling. Once I get those two on, I will drop it into the car, and we will address the little things here and there as that time goes. So I'm losing bolt, so I got to get this done quickly, but at the same time, I have to take my time with it because this, look at that. See, it's not terrible, but Texas sun is pretty brutal, and we're going to get rid of these guys. See my little friend? Oh, he went into the darkness, killed him. So we got to get that done. As you can see with this as well, I don't know if you can guys tell on camera. I mentioned this before, but this orange and this orange are completely different oranges. You can't tell unless you're staring at it. So that's going to get fixed. We're going to fix all this sealing right here, all that, which was a bad tape job from the previous person. We're going to fix the little edges like that. All these little black specks you see in the paint is actually from me painting the roof. There's some things you can't see. Oh yeah, you can right there. Since this car was sitting under a tree for so long, all the tree sap and stuff, you can actually see a lot of those imperfections from the tree sap. If I rub it away, yes, it will go, and it will bring a new shine to this car, but I'd rather get a different color for the car, and that's what we're gonna do. We're also gonna fix stuff like that. We're gonna get the new side skirts, which are sitting up in the attic. The front bumper for this car, obviously you can see it's gone and missing. We already had the 2GA headlights. We are gonna do a full 2GB, we already have the 2GB headlights. The 2GA headlights are long gone. They're being custom retro mod by somebody else. I ended up trading him a brand new set of the 2GB for the old 2GAs. I have the 2GB bumper, which is up in the attic. We are going to be doing that one, and that's the whole reason why we are going to be repainting this car, because of that reason right there. So I'm excited for it to come about. We do have the tape. We do have the tape that we need for the wire harness that I'm going to be just doing one final. I'm gonna take that loom off and then wrap everything up with that tape there and then come back with the new loom as time goes. I'm not gonna rush to do it right now. And we are gonna get rid of these multicolored vacuum lines and get that all fixed out. So this car's gonna look proper. It's gonna look real proper. I am searching for a set of GSX brake calipers that I can get powder coated. If not, I'll just buy a brand new set and have them powder coat the brand new set. And when they're done, I'll install them. So lots to come to this car. We are gonna do a lot of things. We also, if you can tell down there, those red ones is for the Talon. The purple one's for the Kia, but the red ones are for the Talon. And we're gonna be lowering the Talon pretty soon as well, once that one comes back from paint. I've said too much without saying enough. So with that being said, I'll make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you later. The next video is gonna be me installing the transmission and the engine into the engine bay, and we're gonna connect everything up. We won't do a first startup on the next video, but we will be having it installed, and I will address all these wire looms here to get that addressed and situated. And I don't know what to do about this though. I don't have a bottom piece for this. So I'll catch you guys later. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later.